Hello everybody, how are you all doing? Welcome back to Man City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. Finally, after the break, we are finally getting some action. It's been confirmed that City's match with Dortmund will go ahead. There was some concerns that the match might be shifted out of UK to another ground and things like that, but the match will go ahead. I mean, the fixture schedule is so congested that I know it had to be postponed, but now I'm wondering where will they fit in that postponed fixture. But anyway, the good news is that all of our centre backs are fit. Laporte has posted yesterday that he is he is training. He's back to training, and he looks and is much better now. And he might even make an appearance against Borussia Dortmund from the bench. So it seems that right now all of Pep's centre backs are ready. John Stones also, there's a kind of a positive update around him that John Stones also could be in contention for the Dortmund match. So we now have only, I think it's Kyle Walker who's out for a couple of days. So when John Stones is almost back. I know there's no news about it, and we'll have to wait for Pep's press conference confirmation. But at least the sources are telling John Stones is also almost close to being ready. But then I was just thinking about it that if all of the centre backs are fit, who will be Pep's first choice? I mean, as you can see on the screen, I've decided to divide this thing into two categories because it's tough to get an answer to that. Who will be your two best choice centre back pairings? There are a lot of variables in that depending on the opposition and things like that. But I've thought about it, and I'm like, okay, let us break this down into smaller bits. Let us divide this based on physicality and ball playing ability because Pep, I mean, right from his Barcelona days, if you look at the combinations he's used in his Barcelona days, Puyol, PK, or Mascherano, Puyol, Yaya Toure, Puyol. I mean, Pep always loved to have this kind of a ball playing centre back and then a kind of a physical centre back beside him. So I've decided going according to what Pep has thought, physicality and ball playing ability. Now there's one name that is interesting here. You can see the name of Akanji in both physicality and ball playing ability. This is when it struck me that and I know Akanji played very well against Sevilla and all, but after I've categorized this, it struck me that wow, what a masterstroke of a signing Akanji can be. I know there's not the hype around Akanji like a Fofana or even like a Koulibaly coming in when he came to Chelsea, or even when Chelsea bid for Guardiola, or even Lisandro Martinez when United bid for him. There's no hype around Akanji like that. People have thought, okay, he's a big part player, maybe Pep has bought him in. But if you look at what Akanji is offering, he's both physical and he also has ball playing ability. So this means that Manuel Akanji can play in both the roles. If Pep wants a physical defender, if you don't have a Diaz or an Ake, Pep can put Akanji into that role. If you don't have a ball playing defender alongside Diaz, for example, Pep can put Akanji into that role. This is very interesting. This could be the signing that could be the difference between us. I know people are telling Haaland could be the difference between us winning the Champions League or not, for example. But Akanji signing could very well play that role. You never know. Because just imagine if we had an extra defender like an Akanji last time against Real Madrid, we ain't losing that second leg. We ain't conceding those goals to Vinicius Junior in the first leg when he just ran past Fernandinho, filling him, who was filling in at the right back position, at the left back position. So Akanji, that's a very interesting dynamic, and we will know his utmost value. I think in the later stages, especially after January, when the fixture list becomes even more grueling and all the matches start to just pour in on you. But yeah, coming to the centre backs. Now, apart from this categorization of ball playing and physicality, there's one more thing. See, when everyone is fit, Pep likes to play a left-footed centre back and a right-footed centre back, right? So, out of this list, let us segregate one. See, let us go for a left-footed centre back. Aymeric Laporte and Nathan Ake. There are only two left-footed centre backs, right? So, for one slot on the left, it's between these two, Laporte and Ake. So would you like? to have a ball playing centre back who's a left footed one, or would you like to have a physical centre back who's a left footed one? This is again, as you go digging deep into this question, I think there are obviously some issues, some variables that even Pep, I think, will have a long, hard think, and even Pep might find it impossible to answer. But for me, I think in the Champions League, this comes down to the competition for me. I know people will disagree and they'll say centre back partnerships are important. You have to play one constantly. For one, the schedule doesn't allow this, especially this season. For two, I think it depends on the competition. In knockout competition, would you want Aymeric Laporte playing as your left-sided centre back? The answer is simply no, because 2019, that game comes to mind. Aymeric Laporte in knockout competition. Son ran 1v1 against Aymeric Laporte and scored 2 goals in the second leg. Aymeric Laporte, when someone runs 1v1 against him aggressively, it seems to me that Aymeric Laporte is a bit of flustered and things like that. He's not the best 1v1 defender. And especially in knockout competitions, a single mistake in a 1v1 situation and you're out of the competition. It could be so ruthless. Strikers, attackers in the Champions League are animals, they're just absolutely ruthless beasts. So could you trust Aymeric Laporte in those situations? Nathan Ake is completely the opposite, He's very good. For me, he's the best 1v1 defender, at least in the top 2, top 3 in the Premier League. At least, and with Van Dijk regressing a bit this season, I do think Ake could be the best 1v1 defender in the Premier League right now. So Ake is so good 1v1 situations, physicality wise. He has more pace than Laporte. 1v1, he can handle 1v1s better more than anything else. So I think in the Champions League, you play a Nathan Ake. Whereas in the Premier League, it's a bit it's a bit of a different dynamic. Teams sit back and teams are mostly parking the bus and things like that, which means that you need Laporte's passing out from the back. You need Laporte to ping balls, ping diagonal balls, shift the entire opposition defense to one side, and Laporte pinging the balls to the other side, for example, quick shift of play and things like that. So I think Laporte is more suited to the Premier League kind of a thing, and where a 1v1 mistake, basically a 1v1 mistake in a Premier League is not as fatal as a 1v1 mistake in a Champions League, because all you got is 180 minutes, and we saw what happened against Madrid before the season, before Lyon, Spurs, Monaco. It's just Liverpool is just keeping on repeating for us in the Champions League. So if Pep starts Laporte in the Champions League knockouts as well, then it would mean we have not learned things from the past. So for me, it's Laporte in the Premier League and Ake in the Champions League in the left centre back position. The right centre back position is interesting, Ruben Diaz, Akanji, John Stones, right? Diaz very good physical, John Stones very good ball playing. Akanji does both, not a bit of both, does both extremely well. Maybe a bit weak in the air, you can say, but he's a commanding tall centre back. So, but there is a problem here. There is all of these three have something in common, The common thing is injuries. Now Diaz is also getting in that sort of a category, When he arrived, we thought he was injury free. He's not a player who pick up regular injuries, but right now he is picking up regular injuries. So all the three are prone to regular injuries. But again, the question is when all three are fit, or when all three are fit, I think it's almost a no-brainer that you start Manuel Akanji, whether it is in the Premier League or the Champions League. The thing is, Manuel Akanji, he offers you both what Diaz and Stones can offer, right? His experience in them both, which is vital for a centre back. He has pace, which is absolutely, for example, when you play him beside Laporte, some Diaz Laporte for me don't work out that well sometimes. We saw in last season against Crystal Palace. I know they can be very good, but when you're against a pacey forward, when both your centre backs don't have pace, then it could be a bit of a worry. So Akanji provides you that. I think Akanji is the version which Pep thought John Stones would become when Pep signed Akanji. Sorry, when Pep signed John Stones. Due to injury, Stones didn't do that. I don't say that Akanji is world class right now, but I see shades of when Pep went to Bayern Munich and Jerome Boateng was there, Boateng wasn't a finished article then, and Pep made him into one of the world's best defenders during that 1-2 period of time, 1-2 years. So I think Manuel Akanji can fall into that mold. Pep working a bit on Manuel Akanji could suddenly turn him to what Pep made of a Jerome Boateng back there, or even what Pep made of a Javi Martinez, who was playing at centre back when Pep was at Bayern Munich, and he was very good back then. So I see shades of that. I see shades that Manuel Akanji could. People said when we signed him is too injury prone, but even he was too injury prone and he was making a lot of mistakes and all. But Jerome Boateng was making a lot of mistakes, and he was not good enough for City as well, Jerome Boateng. But Pep turned him into world class defender, and Akanji has all those qualities. So for me, it's Akanji Laporte or Akanji Ake. Akanji has to be there in any of the centre back competitions, combinations for me, because he offers something unique. There's this X factor in Akanji. I can't rave enough of Akanji, as you can see. It's not that I'm being biased about him or something, but when you see in both of these categories, the fact that Akanji fits into both of these categories tells you a lot about the kind of versatile player he is, the kind of qualities he has, the reading of the game he has. So you saw it against Sevilla. I think one of City's ex-player, I think it was Nedum Onusha or someone, yes, it was Nedum Onusha, he said that Akanji reminded him a bit of, Vincent Kompany in terms of the style in which he commands uh, the, uh, the style in which he commands the attackers, the style in which he dominates the attackers. He always, as it's sometimes easy that defenders can wait for the game to come to them and hold their guard, but Akanji, for me, he goes into the game. He tussles with the game. He goes in front of the forward to get the ball, which Vinny had. Vinny had that unique quality, to go in front of the attacker and get the ball. Van Dijk has that. So you see, the very best defenders have those qualities. Ramos at his best had that. So I think Akanji. I'm not comparing Vincent Kompany to Akanji here for all of it, but Akanji has those qualities. So for me, it's like I said, it's Laporte Akanji or it's Ake Akanji. Ake Akanji in the Champions League and Laporte Akanji in the Premier League. For me, those are our best combinations. Now, this is not to say that Stones and Diaz will not have a chance, because Pep has to rotate. But when you talk about the best combinations, when you have to play important knockout game or an important Premier League game which could potentially decide the title or top of the table clash, then these are the combinations I would play. Ake and Akanji Champions League and Laporte and Akanji in the Premier League. I'm really looking forward for the match against Borussia Dortmund, and we'll have a video soon on the predicted lineup for the Borussia Dortmund and the City clash. That's going to be interesting because Pep has a lot of players fit. Whom will Pep play? Will Luis Mahrez, or will he drop Foden? Will Julian Alvarez get a game? There's a lot of interest in that. It's Calvin Phillips. Will he rest Rodri? Because Phillips looked excellent against Sevilla. The passing, the pinging of crosses from Phillips was excellent. It's going to be an interesting team selection, a very tough team selection, but we'll come up with the predicted lineup very soon on this channel. And thank you so much, guys, again for joining me. If you have liked the video, please click on the like button and the bell icon so that you get notifications whenever we come out with new videos. Again, see you all, guys, and take care.